Well, I'm Justin, and this is my beautiful wife, Lauren, and we live just outside Chicago in Huffman Estates, Illinois. My parents were actually divorced, so money wasn't a big conversation with my family internally. I learned a little bit from my friends' parents, but that's just kind of ambient noise, and I really didn't pay much attention to it.
I knew money was important and I knew I needed to save and invest, but really the whole purpose of why, I think was missing, and no fault to my parents. I just think there was a little bit of even a disconnect in my brain as to why that was so important. And then we got married and our financial struggles began, I guess you could say.
We thought we were doing well, and we borrowed for everything.
Yep.
Want a new couch? Go finance it. Want a new TV? Go finance it. Want a new car? Go finance it.
You know, I was the one that was paying the bills and stuff, and I just kept looking at the numbers and I'm like, we are out of money again. And I knew what the problem was, but I had no solution. And that was kind of where, I kept going to him saying, let's do something about this.
Ended up working all the time and trying to sell as much as I could. And so I'd sell more so that we could then buy more. Right. And then we'd buy more, and then now I have to sell more.
Okay, well, if you sell X, Y, and Z, then we can pay the bills, in the next 2 weeks. And it was almost a game, but it really wasn't a fun game.
We were doing okay in the sense of we could cover everything and there was a little bit left over. And so I felt, since I was doing well in sales and my career's starting to take off, that I've earned the right to buy a brand new truck. The way I justified it was I only need to sell this much each month to be able to pay the bill for
that.
The truck.
Well, you also switched jobs.
And then, that was what finally did it, was that I'd switched jobs. Because we weren't budgeting, because we didn't know our financial situation. We did a quick math calculation to figure out how much I needed for a salary so I could try to negotiate what would work. I got what I thought we needed, and it's like a month or two into me at the new job, and I was wrong on the math. We were struggling. We had our first son the year before, and we had the birthday party.
I had gone to the store to buy, food to feed our family. And, as I'm driving there, I'm thinking to myself, okay, so this card has like $10 left on it. This card has like $20 left on it. And I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to pay for all this food. We had the birthday party, but I was just done. I was so tired of playing the game. And shortly after that, I listened to Dave's book because a friend had recommended it to us. And it was one of those where sure, why not? Let's try it, kind of thing, because we had no other option at that point. And so I listened to it in a day, and I was like, Justin, you have to listen to this. If you do nothing else this week, today, whatever, listen to this book, because we need to do this. I don't care what you think about it. I was doing it.
She asked me to read the book, and I told her no for a few weeks. And then just one day I downloaded it and put it on audio in my car, finished the book in a matter of just a few hours, came home and said, all right, honey, let's cut up the credit cards. Something clicked. It was that turning point that made me realize that we have to do something different. And it was that information that helped just kind of structure it in a way that made sense, that nobody else had laid it out like that before.
Well, we had a plan then. Once we had something to follow or some sort of, guidelines, it made all the difference in the world. But, it was definitely a turning point in not only our financial situation, but our relationship as well. I'm not saying just because we read the book, it changed everything, but it gave us the path to start changing. I'd say probably about 6 weeks after we read the book, we did Financial Peace University.
Which we were already into the budget. We already had our
we had already started budgeting.
We already had started paying some stuff off before we did it. You don't even really realize how bad the situation is until you put it on paper.
Right.
What the heck did we do here?
Yeah.
And you kind of have a real aha moment when you actually sit down and go through it, which I think was part of where that was you really add it up. It's like, we really do need to do something here. Or we're not putting our kids through college. We're not moving forward in life. And then it hit me about a few months in that a huge chunk of our budget was the car payment on the truck that I so rightfully deserved. But I realized that car payment could open up a huge door in our budget. So I came home and I said to her, we need to sell the truck. And she couldn't believe that I had even brought that up.
It was one of those who are you and what have you done with my husband?
That truck was part of I deserved it, but it also gave me the opportunity to try to show off to people. And I realized that that's not what life's about, and that's not why we do what we do on a daily basis. And just giving that up was not only a huge benefit in the budget, but it was a whole emotional change in our relationship, and it allowed us to just kind of look at things differently. The biggest, I think, driver of that whole problem was that I was a very selfish person. It was all about me, and I love to entertain, but I love to entertain to show off, not to entertain to make other people happy.
Right.
As much as that's not necessarily a financial thing, it makes you realize what our role is in the whole process, and I think that opened up my eyes to where I looked at life in general. I think that was a big just change.
Yeah, the book, The Total Money Makeover, was a complete perspective change, I think, for both of us. Don't be normal. Like Dave says all the time, be weird. It's awesome to not have the burden of, society, I guess you could say, on you, and, just living with a purpose and having your money work for you instead of you just working for your money and knowing where your money's going. It definitely is a huge life changer.
Everybody that we knew thought we were crazy. And after we did the debt-free scream, her coworkers all saw it. My coworkers saw it. A lot of our friends had seen it. And many of them now are doing it. When you genuinely do it for the right reasons and you don't care what the world around you thinks, you're doing it because this is what God wants you to do. That's just cool, what that ends up spider-webbing into. That's what this whole thing is you just build momentum and just allow that to continue to progress. And it's amazing what continues to happen in a positive direction in life. It was a lot to go through, and to take 17 months and pay off $85,000, it was a struggle, but at the end, looking back, it was worth every bit of sacrifice that we went through it.
I would not change it for the world.
I wouldn't change anything.
3,
2, 1.